Welcome to The Buzz, the weekly show with everything you need to know about AIC athletics. I'm your host, Seth Dussault, and it was another busy week for the Yellow Jackets, so let's get started. Women's tennis competed in 3 matches last week, falling 5-2 to Assumption, 6-1 to Southern New Hampshire, and 7-0 to New Haven. Rookie Michaela Johnson scored wins at second singles for AIC against the Greyhounds and the Penmen. They next visit Stonehill on Wednesday. Field hockey split a pair of home games, earning a thrilling 3-2 comeback win over Southern Connecticut State in overtime thanks to a tally by Shannon Cormier, before falling 2-1 to New Haven as the Chargers scored a pair of penalty stroke goals. Jenny Holmquist had a brilliant defensive save in the second frame against the Chargers, and Chelsea Davis had one in both games to extend her NCAA Division II record to 33. The Yellow Jackets head to Pace for an NE10 tilt on Tuesday afternoon against the defending conference champions. Men's soccer played its NE10 opener at New Haven and earned a 3-0 victory thanks to 3 strikes in the second half. Connor Hicks slotted home the opening tally on a breakaway, and Adrian Hoffledge and Felipe Novellini scored in the final 10 minutes to put the game away. Ben Taylor made 3 saves in his first AIC shutout. The Yellow Jackets next host Lemoyne on Wednesday night in a rematch of last season's playoff thriller. Women's soccer played a tough slate of 3 opponents this week, beginning by hosting number 12 St. Rose. They played well in a 3-1 defeat with Jen Hackett scoring this amazing goal. The Yellow Jackets then beat Florida National 4-0 and fell to Nova Southeastern 3-1 in a trip to Florida. They'll head to Lemoyne on Wednesday. The International Volleyball Hall of Fame Yellow Jacket Invitational was this most recent weekend, and AIC went 1-1 both days, winning 3-0 over Felician before falling 3-1 to St. Anselm in Friday's matches, and then dropping a 3-0 decision against Bridgeport before rebounding for a 3-2 win against Assumption. Conference play opens for AIC this week with a Tuesday night home tilt against New Haven. Cross country crushed the field at the Elms College Blazer Invitational on Saturday, winning both the men's and the women's races. Katie Olding paced the women, who had 7 top 10 finishes, while Charlie Jocelyn Allen helped the men to a sweep of the top 5 spots. He and Jason Beaver finished 0.2 of a second apart in the race. Both teams will head to Central Connecticut State this Saturday. The Triathlon team competed at the Duxbury Triathlon out in eastern Massachusetts. Roz Pearl paced the squad. 1:21.06 was her time. Angelina Knowlton right behind at 1:25.11, both personal bests. They'll head to regionals in a few weeks, so be sure to check back at AICYellowJackets.com for updates. Football was at the University of New Haven for its NE10 opener, and the Chargers showed why they were picked to win the conference, taking a 37-7 victory over AIC. Jason DeMille threw a 29-yard touchdown strike to Kequan Jamison early in the second quarter to get AIC within 14-7, but the offense couldn't find anything after that. Jason Thompson led the defense with 14 tackles. The Yellow Jackets will host Southern Connecticut on Saturday. Women's rugby was at home against Brown, and the Bears rushed out to a 28-0 lead in the first half to ultimately win 54-19. Jemiah Hawkins had 2 tries for the Yellow Jackets in the contest, while Cassidy Pothier completed 2 conversions. The Yellow Jackets will host Westchester this coming Saturday. On the men's side, AIC dominated against Rutgers. After a scoreless first 20 minutes, Louis Satama booted a penalty kick for 3 points and then landed AIC's first try and conversion shortly thereafter to open the offensive floodgates. He would score another try in the second half. Carmen Consolino also had 2 in the second frame. The Yellow Jackets beat Rutgers 39-5. They'll play again on Friday at Yale. So that brings us to our athletes of the week this week, and while there were some strong performances all the way around, 2 stood out. Joseph Validzik of men's soccer, Chelsea Davis of field hockey. Validzik set up both the winning goal and the final one against New Haven for the men with brilliant passes through New Haven's defense, while Chelsea's defensive saves both came at times in both games when the score was tied, keeping the Yellow Jackets from falling behind, as we mentioned, NCAA's all-time leader with 33. So that's the buzz, but before we go, we want to remind you that another episode of the Yellow Jacket Experience podcast, hosted by Director of Athletic Communications Thomas Poole, will be coming out tomorrow. And if you haven't yet gotten your hockey season tickets, visit aic.edu/hockeytickets, because we're just 19 days away from a home opener at the Mass Mutual Center against nationally ranked Quinnipiac University. Until next time, this is Seth Dussault signing off. Go Jackets!